Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in DC Worlds Collide, we're going to talk about gearing and emblems. This is an update guide for the gearing, but also on that guide, I've added kind of a priority list on emblems or badges. Really want to talk about some of the top badges you really want to fully invest in because those are resources that go very, very quickly, and you want to make sure to put them in the right characters for the team that you're looking for. There's lots to discuss here, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. So let's go ahead and jump into this. What I wanted to do was provide an update. If you haven't been to my Discord yet, I did fill out the rest of the gear suggestions for all the different characters, so we're going to take a look at that really quick. And then I also added a section where we take a look at the different badges and where I feel as far as high, medium, and low, where priority should be. And then I call out 5 badges that I feel are probably the most important to invest in for your characters. So let's see. Let's go to the spreadsheet right now, really quick. A few things I want to talk about. This page hasn't been updated, but I want to talk about some of the testing that I do when I go in here and I try and figure out who does the best damage, who does the best healing, who should have crit versus attack, things like that. This is what I do. So I put a couple of charts here. If you saw my last guide, you've seen this here. So Green Lantern, I took in System Recovery 10-6. I compared attack set versus crit set. Now, what this is 4 attack and 2 crit versus 4 crit and 2 attack. And as you can see here, I've got much better results from a 4-piece crit set than a 4-piece attack set. I did the same thing for Batman. So what we're trying to figure out is, so GA is an AoE character, right? Batman is more of a single target. There's a thought out there that maybe attack is better for single target heroes than it is for AoE heroes. So I did do some testing here, and when I did it, so crits over here on the left this time versus attack, my overall results from a 4-piece crit set on Batman on System Recovery 12-8, 0 synergy, and when I go in there, it's the exact same test every single time. So I go into the exact same battle. All of the conditions and synergies, if I had any, are all the same. I just change whether it's a 4-piece crit versus 4-piece attack. And it seems that a 4-piece crit is better than a 4-piece attack for single target as well. Need to do some more testing as we continue to level these characters up and get them maxed out and everything. But at least right now, this is what I'm seeing. So these are the types of tests that I do when I try and figure out what gear is best for who, even when I try and figure out damage and healing and, you know, tanks being able to absorb damage and things like that. So with that, let's go over to I got a new sheet here. This is it's an easier sheet to take a look at, I think, when you're taking a look at the ranks and the gear. But also, one thing I'm doing is I'm only doing a 4-piece and a 2-piece gear set. There may be situations that would call for 2, 2, and 2 versus 4 and 2. But right now, I'm only taking a look at 4 and 2. I'll delve deeper into the 2, 2, and 2 probably a little bit later. But right now, really focused on the 4-piece and the 2-piece buffs. So when we take a look at this, I think when we stopped on this tier list here, we stopped at Penguin with HP and speed. So we did the S+, the S, and the A+. So when we take a look at this one here, just taking a look at the A's down to the C's. And this is updated based on my March tier list. We've got Pandora, so when I do my April tier list coming up, we'll see some updates to this. So for Supergirl, I got speed and attack. Red Hood, I got crit and attack. A lot of my damage dealers, crit on the 4-piece, attack on the 2-piece. Ocean Master, I do have him on block and attack. I think the benefit with Ocean Master is the more block that you do, the more counter attack he does. Now his damage isn't a ton, but you can get it on a good block team, and we're going to talk about Nightwing here. On a good block team, you're going to counter attack a lot. So it does stack up as far as damage. But he still, for me, is still an A-tier character. Bloodsport, I got block and attack as well. Let's see, Mr. Freeze. If you still got Mr. Freeze, using him. If you're newer to the game, I've got him on HP and block. And a lot of this is based around their kit. What stats help them perform best? So that's where I am as far as those. I do have an updated screenshot of this on my Discord, so definitely go over there and check it out. Check the pins. It'll be in tier list and guides. But let's talk about emblems now here really quick. As far as emblems go, you can see I've got H's, M's, L's, so high, medium, and low. I am prioritizing, we're going to go over these characters here in a minute. I am prioritizing these top 5. It's funny. They're the top 5 characters on the list, so they're the top 5 as far as focusing on their emblem. And that really is because of the benefits, right? When we talk about, let's see, Nightwing right here, in order to truly get him to see his full potential, you do need quite a bit of investment into his emblem. So we'll take a look at that as well in just a second. So Zatanna, Flash, those are all high. Deathstroke, Flash, Two-Face, low. I don't think you're really going to... Anybody in the L category, I really wouldn't put anything towards them at all. I'd really focus more on these high priority targets and really prioritizing these top 5, in my opinion. Again, these resources here that you need in order to upgrade the emblems are pretty scarce. So you're not going to be able to upgrade a lot of them all at the same time. So this is my list. Again, we're going to go and we're going to jump into the game. We're going to take a look at these characters and why I suggest these are the best characters to invest in emblems. But again, a screenshot on this will be on my Discord. So let's go ahead and jump into the game here. So first, Nightwing. Let's talk about him. Really kind of when we take a look at this ability here, you can see it increases basic rate by an additional 15%. This is for high voltage shock, right? Gains 1 buff randomly. This, I don't think this is actually the best part of it. I think the best part of it really is when you go in here and you see the increase in the block amount. Right now, 19.1%. I am in the last tier, and I think the last place to get a block buff here is going to be right here. So it's going to take me from 19.1% to 32.4%. You really want to get his block through the roof. So continue to invest in here. Beyond this point, I think it's going to really be up to you whether you want to continue with the investment, because beyond this point, we've got HP and defense bonuses all the way. That's the rest of it. Obviously, defense, HP, it's always good. But as far as block amount goes, it stops here, and then we finally get this last buff here. All right, so let's just take a look at his kit. I've got him at 4 block, obviously, because we want to get his block as high as possible. And then when we take a look at this gear here, I try and make sure that we have block on every piece that can have block. If you haven't seen my gearing guide, I've got all of the possibilities of the different gear and the stats that they can have. I'm still working on completing that, but I do have that in there, so definitely take a look at that. I've also got a screenshot of that on my Discord. Let's see, we got block here, but I don't want to invest in a purple right now, so I'm going to upgrade this, and I want to get the block here. Let's see, do I have block anywhere else? We got some defense. We got block here. We got block here. So I just swapped this piece out, so I got to get that up to level 20. Be careful here too, because this takes a lot of resources to strengthen your gear. These things here, what are these things called anyway? I don't know, screws. Call them nuts and screws. But anyway, a lot of that and a lot of gold. So you can burn through that pretty quick. So be careful. Don't just upgrade willy-nilly. Get the stats that you really, really need. Willy-nilly. Willy-nilly. All right. So that's him. That's really why you want to invest in his badge, right? Let's talk about Wonder Woman. I think number 1 is probably the first person. I've put the most resources into her and into her badge here. So yeah, I've just got a few left here. You're going to get all these bonuses here: attack bonus, defense bonus, damage amplification, crit damage. I think with her, this right here is really good. For every 1% of current crit rate, increases crit damage by 1% instead. The reason why it says instead is because if we go to her skills here, right here, during battle, every 1% crit damage she has grants 0.3% damage reduction. That's not a lot. Up to 20%. But it does, yeah, I mean, it gets up there, up to 20%. This is going to switch to crit damage, which I think is very cool. So that's going to just continue to increase the amount of damage she does. And she's already, in my opinion, the best damage dealer in the game. If we go to Lex here, we take a look at his badge, right? His badge bonus really increases shield damage absorption, which is what you want. On this first tier. Second tier, additional shield damage absorption. I can't talk. Increases changes to 6%. While the shield is active, increases defense by 20% and crit resist by 20%. So, I mean, you're getting so much protection from this guy. And then at the 3rd tier, regardless of whether he has a shield, he will gain a shield and invite his ally to battle. One thing I like about him, not only is he great with his shields, but he calls in assists. And I really like that. So I've only got him up to plus 19 right now. Almost there to get him to finish off tier 3. But look, you can go to tier 4 with this guy. Tier 4. The last tier typically doesn't have anything. You can see up to tier 3, you get these bonuses here. The 4th tier is typically just stat bonuses. It continues to add to the stat bonuses that you see there on the right-hand side. All right, so those, great. Let's go to, not Constantine, but we go to Green Arrow. Take a look at his badge. When we take a look at what he can do. Click on this again. Crit rate increase. HP percent threshold required to trigger double crit. We'll go over that here in just a second. And then it also increases crit rate by an additional 15% instead when attacking enemies with HP percentage threshold higher than 40%. It says 40%. If we go into a skill right here, that's this ability right here. Check it out. Increases crit by 15% and crit damage by 15%. Crit doubles when an enemy's HP is above 50%. So when you get that, it takes that down to 40. So you have more time. He has more opportunity to launch his ultimates to do the double crit damage. So that's a huge plus there. Definitely worth the badge investment. And then let's go ahead. Let's talk about Constantine. I love this guy. He's like one of my favorites. Green Lantern's my favorite in DC. Y'all have heard that. Constantine, definitely my second favorite. Take a look at what he does here. It's around his magic projectiles, which is cool. So this first tier here, 35% chance to dispel one type of enemy buff. Damage dealt by magic projectiles additionally increases by 15%. Also has a 25% chance to transform into an extra magic projectile. And then this 3rd tier, magic projectiles, chance to dispel buffs goes up to 70%. And the chance of transforming into an extra projectile is 100%. So it just increases the amount of damage that he can do. All right. A lot of great stuff here. Hopefully this is helpful. So let me know what you think. What do you think about the rest of the gearing that I have, as well as the prioritization that I have for the badges? Very curious on your thoughts. Who's your favorite characters? Which badges are you really focused on right now? Again, I really hope this is helpful. Let me know. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.